to go term with him?
Yeah, well, this is a little bit, it goes along with what I've been talking about for a while now, that, we're in the stage where we're identifying core pieces moving forward. We've wanted to be really disciplined and smart with how we put our roster together, and, that's the reason for that is so we can do things like this and make sure that we identify the people that we're going to move forward with long term. And we know there's more coming. So, for us, it was start conversations, see if there's, an interest, both sides. And clearly there was. And, what I would say about Sammy is he's an unbelievable teammate. He's loved in the locker room. He brings a unique element to the blue line that we think is really critical for us moving forward. Just feel like he's the type of person that's going to keep working to get better and better. You guys hear me talk about that all the time, and he's wants to be here. He's made it clear this is a place that I want to play, and we're excited to have him.
It's unusual to do it with somebody who's only played 54 NHL games. Matter of fact, I'm trying to think if I've ever seen that before, but that tells me obviously there's no question in your mind what he's going to become as far as an NHL player.
Yeah, we obviously do our homework, and we felt this investment was the right thing for us at this time. But it takes both sides. It can't just be right for us or right for the player. It has to work both ways, which obviously is how we were able to get a deal done. But you're seeing in the league now where it's really important if you can. I guess the best way to say it is like, put guys in the prime of their career in the best opportunity to succeed. And by doing a long-term deal where he is in his career and his age, when it's done, he's still going to be young enough to sign another deal. But these are the prime years in the 20s, and that's why we felt comfortable with it.
Does it put a certain degree of pressure on the organization to win cheaply now before it starts getting very expensive?
Well, you obviously what we're doing here, and we're looking at key players that potentially what it will cost to re-sign them, especially a couple of our defensemen, and so that's what we're really working towards. We're trying to make sure that we identify the core. Who are the people that we're going to move forward with long term? These are the players we believe will help us win games, help us compete for championships, and let's lock them up and do it the right way. And we want to make sure it's fair for both sides. So we're having conversations like this, and then sometimes you table them and you say, okay, let's wait. Sometimes they pick up momentum, and this one was mutual, both sides. And from both of us, that today was kind of the deadline. Wanted to get it done if we were going to do this before we went into opening day.
There's been obviously a lot of chaos in this organization for 10 years, but even in the last two, things obviously have calmed down. What's it mean? You're extended, now Donnie's extended. There's been a lot of coach and GM searches around here, and it doesn't look like there's going to be any.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I think I guess what I'll say to that is I personally feel so fortunate to be in the position I am. I'm thankful for the opportunity. And when I was speaking with Terry regarding my own personal contract and my situation, one of the things that I discussed with him was how important Donnie Granado is to this franchise, and I really wanted him to be a priority as soon as we could get this done with me. So we had already talked about that before I signed my extension, and my priority immediately turned to Donnie and how do we move forward and work out a deal that he's going to be here a long time as well. And I'll also tell you that it's come up in negotiations with players, Tage Thompson and other, asking about Donnie and how long his contract is and are you going to be here. Players truly respect and appreciate that in what he does every day. And I think the continuity part, Mike, from myself and Donnie, and just the calmness that we can bring every day to the staff and the players, knowing that we have a plan, we're working on our plan, we're supported by ownership, goes a long way, and now we just have to keep pushing.
Was it easy to do with Don? Because I remember even before Don became coach here, he said, this is the only job I want. I don't want any other job.
Yeah, I think, I have an incredible amount of respect for Don and the way he, well, just as a person, first of all, and the way he treats people and how he handles himself every day, but just the way he views the game. We challenge each other. We have a really solid relationship, but that doesn't mean that we don't challenge each other and push each other. And are confident enough around each other to say, hey, I disagree with you, and here's why, both ways. And I personally look for that, and I know that he does as well. So, I think that's something that Donnie right away said to me, that I respect that, you're going to go interview other people and talk to other people when he was interim still, but this is the job I want. And, so I think this is someone who's really bought into the organization, really has a lot of respect for the Gula family, and he appreciates this. It's taken him a long, road to get to this spot, and he cherishes every day.
From the outside, a lot of people see Mattias sign long-term, they see Tage sign long-term. We understand what's going on. For those outside that don't quite understand, is it more of I know I asked you this about Tage, but is it more like a gamble on your side, or is it like looking at it as you just believe in him again?
Investment. You're going to have to make decisions on players, and you do your best. You don't make these decisions in a vacuum. You don't make them and just, hey, today we're going to do this. You talk a lot about it. You look at every possible scenario. You're forecasting your roster 1, 3, 5 years down the road, and of course you have to be open to change, and things can always evolve. But Mattias Samuelsson, in our mind, is exactly the type of person we want to be here long term. He's a great teammate. He's a great hockey player who we believe has the work ethic and the character to continue to get better. He plays a style that we don't have as much. He's a 6'4", 232-pound defender that's tough to play against. And he can also have the skill to move the puck, and he'll continue to work in his game to get better. So for us, yeah, I look at it more as an investment in that you have to make these type of decisions as you build out your roster, and obviously we were comfortable doing that.
Did you even consider a bridge deal, or was it always thinking long term?
Well, there was a negotiation to get to where we got to, but what was clear from day one of this situation was he wanted to be here long term. So from my perspective, it was, well, let's focus on long term, and if we can't get to where we're all comfortable, then for sure we could talk about that. But I think Pat Brisson and Matt Williams did a great job representing him, made it clear his heart's here. When I hear that, and then I feel like there's a deal to get done and we're all on the same page of long term, that was our focus. So we had to get to there, but that's how you could work your way through these things.
Do you sense the trend in the industry is bridge deals are kind of going away?
Well, you know what? I don't know. It's a good question, because certainly you saw this summer a lot of these longer type deals. Bridge deals can work too. Every franchise is in a little bit of a different spot. Sometimes it's the player, sometimes it's where you are as a team, sometimes it may be your cap situation where you just have to do that. But what we're trying to do is say we'll be open to any type of deal. We want to be fair to the player. We want to it has to make sense to us. But when you really feel that you have someone that you kind of project down the road as part of something special, then let's work towards getting that long-term deal done. And we know there's more coming. That's what's exciting for me. But the only way you can do that is to be really sharp and diligent the way you put these deals together, and make sure that you're not just thinking about this one deal. You're thinking about the next 2, 4, 5 deals that come down the road, and that's what we talk about every day.
Kind of like what Joe said, we understand what's going on here outside other cities. They may not. You kind of snicker when all the numbers came out yesterday showing you were the lowest cap team in the league. Kind of knowing what we were working on and what's coming.
Yeah. I mean, I don't put a ton of thought on it, because this is exactly when we put our plan together and the vision of what we're doing moving forward. This is exactly where I expected us to be. We didn't want to go out and make moves in the offseason that maybe we could have done, whether free agency or trades, that would have taken Quinn or Peterka out of the lineup. So you're putting your plan together, and then you look at the salaries and where we'll be right now. But what I also know, and I hope, by the way, is that our players continue to progress and play well, and we know those dollars are going up, which is why we're being so disciplined in the way we're trying to put this together.
Do you sense at all the tone of conversations with agents is different now maybe than it was a couple of years ago when you took over?
100%. And I'm glad you asked that question, because what I can say confidently is 12 months ago when I was talking to agents, and 24 and 18 months ago, was a very different tone than what I hear now. I get calls every day and talking about, there's something special building there. We hear that, and we're hearing good feedback from the locker room, and our players are excited, and just, guys that are agents of other guys say, I hear good things are going, and I give the players a lot of credit for the work they're putting in and the atmosphere and the culture, but, I give Donnie a lot of credit for that too, and the coaching staff. These guys believe in what's happening here. No, I definitely feel that. And now the message to our players is we got a long way to go. Let's go to work. Let's keep pushing. Let's earn everything. We're still in our process right now of how we're building this, and we have to earn respect every day. And that's what I love. You guys see me at practice every day. I love the way our team challenges each other, pushes each other, and wants to get better.
How much, you mentioned it briefly, but the increase in salary cap, how much is that factoring into your strategy of the length of some of these deals?
Yeah, like we talk about it, obviously. You're projecting it. Nobody knows exactly what it looks like, but, a pretty good forecast of where things are headed. So we certainly think about that, but we also know that, like I said a few times this morning, there's plenty other guys that are, going to be signing that we see as our core guys. But the only way you can do it is to, put all the pieces together, is to make sure you're kind of being disciplined the way we're handling it. So we're looking at the cap, we're seeing where it's headed, we're projecting, and now we also react to the way, our players perform, and then, we'll have those conversations with those guys when we're ready.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, guys.